Hi everyone and welcome back to the Daredevil Python machine learning library series. And in this video discussing about the another Python machine learning library that's called NumPy. पिछले वीडियो में हम लोग pandas के बारे में जाना था. So if you missed this video, so please check it out. Link will be in the description. You can go and check it out from here. And this video is a combination of the Hindi and English, but most of the time I'm trying to use the English word. So har har Mahadev बोल के start करते हैं tutorial. So first what you need to do, you need to first install the library that's called the NumPy. So you can also install this library using your command prompt. So for that, you need to open your terminal in Windows and type here pip install, and the library is called NumPy. So this library is nothing but already installed in my system, so I don't need to install it. But if you are using multiple version of Python just like me, if I click enter, you can see it gave me some error because you can see I have multiple version of Python. You can see Python 3.10 and I also have Python 3.8.5 and also Python 3.6.5. Now my question is, let's say I'm trying to installing this library, this NumPy library on my Python 3.8.5. So how can I actually install this library? Yes, I can install it this command. I need to give here my interpreter name and give here the M for multiple version, and I need to type here the pip install, and the library name is called the NumPy. So let's say NumPy. So if I enter, and it will automatically installing this library on my system, and you can see requirement already satisfied. That means this package, this library is already installed in my system. Now my question is, how can you install this library using your Jupyter notebook, right? So well, I'm going to click at the close this out. So you can also do here, just pip install, okay, like that, install, and library name is called the NumPy. Shift enter. So it will automatically install this library using this Jupyter notebook. It's just like also a kernel or a terminal. If it is not working in your case, you can also give here the ampersand sign. That's I'm going to copy this out, and you can also give here a sign, this exclamatory sign, and you can also give here this like comment python m and pip install numpy. So this is also the same way that you can also installing this library on your system. So this is the Python version is nothing but 3.8.5. So if I open my uh, uh, cmd, I mean the terminal, if I type here the python, and you can see python 3.8.5, right? You can also do the same processing in installing all the library in your different version of python. Okay, that's it. अच्छा लगा ना? Okay, now what I can do, we can simply import here the library that we actually install. So what I need to do, I need to simply call here import numpy as np and shift enter. You can also click here to run this file from here. Don't worry on that, right? So import numpy as np. Now we are going to creating an array using numpy. Now my question is the array is available inside the Python in Python data structure? No, the array is not actually available inside the Python. If you are from coming from the C++ or C or Java, there should be the array. So what is nothing but the array? Array means you can collect or you can store the same kind of value, I mean same data type of value in a list or in an array. But in a list of Python, you can actually store different types of data type value. Let's say I'm trying to take an example. Let's say LST, and I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, and you can see there is all the value are right now in an integer format. If I shift enter and try to print it, let's say just print it the type of that. So let's say I'm going to print the type of that. So this is nothing but one list. Okay, that's mean in Python you don't have any array. Now my question, if I trying to change this something here, let's say I'm going to give him my name. So you can see it's taking the input, and by default is list. But when you are doing the same code in the C++ or Java or C, it may give you error because it don't have the list. In array you can just store in the same kind of values. So now the question happened arising here, may we creating an array using Python? Yes, we can creating an array using NumPy library that you actually already import here. So NumPy actually help you to do this in a short way. So don't worry on that. So now what I can do, we can simply do some analysis on that, and that how can you actually convert this list into a NumPy array. Let's see how can I do that. So let's say make it 3 now, and I'm going to again run the shell, and I am trying to convert this list into one NumPy array. So for that I can use here np dot the method that's called the array, and what I can do, we can simply pass here my lst. Then now it's converted this list into an array, and you can see array is nothing but 1, 2, 3, and inside this array, right? So if I try to change something, let's say I'm going to add here the Chandu. See one thing here, just notice one thing. shift enter enter enter. This is nothing but on list, but it having another property. It's called d type, also called the data type. And you can see d type is nothing but the attribute in the numpy, and it's a u11. It's mean this Chandu word is a string, and it having the high priority. So that's why it actually gave me the data type. But how I actually remove this, you don't see the data type here. You don't see the data type, right? So let's store it inside a variable. Let's call array. And if I'm trying to check the type of the array, right? Let's say if I try to check this type of this array, so let's see type of the array, and where is it? Type of the array, and you can see it's nothing but one numpy and d array. And d means it can be multi-dimensional. It can be 1D, it can be 2D, so many kind of. So that's why it's so that it's and d array, not 1D 2D like that, right? So now what I can do, we can also check the shape of that. हम यहाँ पर shape भी check कर सकते हैं. Let's say ar dot shape. So यहाँ पर आप इसका shape भी देख सकते हो. Shape है 3 comma. 3 means just having the 3 values, right? And comma, and you don't have anything else, because this is nothing but 1D array. So that's why you don't put here the 1 like that. So that's mean in the 1D array, it just give you the value. I mean how many values are available inside your ND array. Then what I can do, it actually give you a comma, and after that last of them. Okay, that's mean this is nothing but 1D array. So now we're going to see that how can I creating a 2D array. Yet how can I create a 2D array? So I'm going to copy this out. Just copy this out and paste it here, paste it and paste it. Let's make it out. Let's say this is 1, this is the 2, this is nothing but 3 list. So let's make it as 4, it's called 5, it's called 6, and let's make it out 7, इसको बनता है 8, तो हो जा 9. हो गया. अब क्या करते हैं, इसको हम क्या करेंगे, इसको हम नंबर एरे में कन्वर्ट करेंगे. लेकिन देखो, तुम जब यहाँ पर सिंगल एरे क्रिएट करते हो ना, यहाँ पर जस्ट सिंगल ब्रैकेट होता है, थर्ड ब्रैकेट होता है. लेकिन व्हेन यू आर क्रिएटिंग द 2-dimensional array, that's mean there should be 2 bracket. So let's see how can I do that. Let's say np.array. इसका अंदर हमको देना पड़ेगा list 1, इसको देना पड़ेगा list 2, इसके बाद देगा list 3, right? So इसका बाद क्या करना पड़ेगा, हम इसको एक वेरिएबल पे स्टोर करते हैं, इसको array 1, shift enter. You can see array take from 1 to 2 position are given, but 3 was given. That's mean you have to give this array value in inside a list, because this is a 2-dimensional array right now, because it having the three list. So when you are going to combine them, it should be a 2-dimensional array. You can also make it 3-dimensional, right? So now you don't have any error. So let's say array 1. Now you can see it's converted into 2-dimensional array. तो आप इसको पहचानेंगे कैसे? यहाँ पर देखो 2 ब्रैकेट है, ट्रू ब्रैकेट है, स्टार्ट में 2 एंड में 2. So that's why it's 2-dimensional array. It's 2-dimensional array. So this is how you can also do that. Now you can simply going to copy this, and you can also check the shape of that. Let's check the shape, and you can see 3,3. That's mean it having the 3, right? It's having the 3 row and 3 column, 3 row and the 3 column, right? So this is nothing but one 2-dimensional array. How? You can see here 2 bracket. You can also check the dimension of that. Let's say array 1. I don't know it's working or fine or not. Yeah, you can see array 1 dot and dims. It will give you the dimension of the array. That is a 2D array or the 3D array, just like that, right? Just like that. You can check the dimension of your array, right? So now I'm going to check that how can you do the slicing, and how can you get the index value of your data. Let's say I assume that it's my list 1, 2, 3. Let's say I'm trying to access this value called 2. So how can I access them? Yes, based on my index number 1, 2, and 3. So the index number should be the 1. So if I am trying to make it, let's say this is nothing but my array, and from the 1 I am trying to access the value. So I got the value as a 2. You can see list equal to 1 to 3, and this is nothing but the 1 index number 1. So that's why I got the value as a 1. So this is how you can actually get the value from here. Let's say I'm trying to make it 5. So now the value should be replaced. So let's say if I try to print it out, यहाँ पर देखो भाई 153 2 कन्वर्ट हो चुका है 153. ऐसे कन्वर्ट करते हैं, ऐसे रिप्लेस करते हैं. यहाँ पर तुम इसको क्या बोलते हैं, तुम अपडेट भी कर सकते हो, राइट? So let's say I am trying to print in the last element of my data. I'm trying to print my last element of the data. So how can I do that? Let's say I'm going to printing my last element. So वहां पर तो आपको देना पड़ेगा 2. So 2 दोगे तो 3 तो बन जाएगा. लेकिन let's say you have 1000 element. 1000 element inside your data. Now you're going to check that which one is the last element and you don't know about the shape of that. There is a shortcut technique to do that. Yes, you can simply pass here -1. देखो भाई आंसर सेम बनता है ना. 3, the last element you get, right? Let's say I am trying to printing all the element. Let's say I'm trying to all the element. So let's say colon to -1. You can see 1 to 5. 1 to 5. See, here is the one thing actually. It's actually going from colon. It actually colon to -1. That's mean except the last element, it will printing all of them. Except the last element, it will printing all of them. Again, let's say I'm trying to creating here another one. Let's say I'm trying to changing something on here. Let's say there is a 4, there's a 5, there's a 6, there's a 7, like that. So let's run all the shell right now. And you can see, except the last element, except the 7, it will try to printing all the below. Okay, it changes 5. So 1, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, except 7, it will printing all of them. So if I try to make this 2, see, except 2 element, it will printing all of them. Except 2 element, last 2 element, it will printing all of them. So let's say I am trying to reverse the array. I am trying to reverse the array. So how can I do this kind of indexes or slicing index? So let's say I'm going to give it 2, and let's say I'm going to give here, so how many value here? Let's say it having the 3 value. Last 3 I am going to actually what I can simply going to, okay, let's say I'm going to give here 7. Okay, let's give here 7. Okay, 7. You can get here the last element of the value. So when you give here the 2, and if I'm trying to give the -1, you can see here all the value are reversed now. All the value are reversed now. So I'm trying to comment out those like because बहुत गड़बड़ कर रहे हैं क्योंकि यहाँ पर हम अपडेट करते हैं इसलिए. ओके, हो गया कमेंट आउट. अब ओके यहाँ पर जाते हैं. ओके, दैट्स इट नाउ. 15553 यहाँ पर शायद. ओके, यहाँ से रन करना पड़ेगा हमको. रन कर दो भाई साहब, हो जा रन. अब ओके. 1 2 3 4 5 except 2 element, it will printing all of them. Now you can see when you give here -1, it will reversing the whole array. It will reversing the whole array. 7 1 to 7 and it will reversing them. 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. लेकिन यहाँ पर हो क्या रहा है? देखो यहाँ पर वो एक्चुअली जा रहे हैं लास्ट एलिमेंट का बाद. लास्ट एलिमेंट जा रहे हैं, इसका बाद उसका पिन कर रहे हैं. देन अगेन दिस वन, अगेन दिस वन, अगेन दिस वन, अगेन दिस वन, अगेन दिस वन. If I give here -2, so after gap of 2, it will printing all the element. First it will give for 7, then it go for the 5, then it will go for 3, then it go for 1. This is how it is painting. When you are going to give some gap on that, let's say the same gap, you can do this kind of slicing index, right? If I give you 3, that's mean it having the 3 gap. यहाँ पर 3 gap होना चाहिए. 7 इसका बाद क्या होगा? 4 होगा. 4 के बाद क्या होगा? 1 होगा, right? Simple. This is how you can actually do some slicing or indexing on your array. So now this is nothing but for the 1D array. Now my question is, how can we do it for the multi-dimensional array? So let's say I'm going to painting my multi-dimensional array. I mean 2D array right now. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 8 9. Let's say I am trying to printing all the element. So let's say all the elements. So यहाँ पर आपको देना पड़ेगा एक comma, right? It's nothing but for my row and the column. So let's say I'm going to give here all the row and all the column. Let's see it is working or not. See, it's working. You are trying to printing, you are already printing all of the element inside your 2D array. Now let's say I'm trying to printing from 1 to 2 and 4 to 5. So this is nothing but my column number 1, column number 0, column number 1, and this is nothing but column number, it's nothing but my column number same again 1 and column number 2. But in the row cases, when you're giving this element, it should be in a row. Now let's say I am trying to go from 0 to 2. I mean 0 to 2 means row, 0 means this one, and 2 means this one, right? And I'm going to go from again 0 to 2. Let's see what actually happened. So you get here 1 2 4 5. Now my question is, we give here 0 to 2 and 0 to 2. So this is nothing but my for row index, and this is nothing but for my column index. So यहाँ पर देखो when you give here 2, it will actually give here -1. I mean it will actually when you give here 0 to 2, that's mean it printing 0 to 1, 0 to 1. Let's say this is nothing but my row index, and this is also the row index. ये row index है ना, हम क्या कर सकते हैं यहाँ पर 1 2 को प्रिंट करने के लिए हमको रो नंबर भी प्रिंट करना पड़ेगा, इसके बाद कॉलम नंबर भी देना पड़ेगा, राइट? सो रो नंबर है 0, इसके बाद है रो नंबर है 1, राइट? कॉलम नंबर है 0, इसके बाद है कॉलम नंबर 1, right? From 0 to 1 and also row 0 to 1. But when you give here the value of the last index, we need to give here +1. We need to do here +1. Let's say I'm going to go here 1 and I'm going to go from the 1. Now if I give here the 1 again, +1 and this +1, then you can simply print it out. You can simply print it out, right? देखो तुम जब स्लाइसिंग कर रहे हो ना यहाँ पर 2D एरे पे, आपको एक इंडेक्स एक्स्ट्रा देना पड़ेगा, यहाँ पर एक्स्ट्रा देना पड़ेगा. लेट्स से आई एम ट्राइंग टू प्रिंट द फर्स्ट एलिमेंट, लेट्स से फर्स्ट एलिमेंट, आई मीन फर्स्ट इंडेक्स को हम प्रिंट कर सकते हैं. तो देखो यहाँ पर सारे रो ले लिया, इसके बाद दे दिया यहाँ पर 1. सो देखो ओके, टू मेनी इंडेक्सेस गिवन, क्या हुआ यहाँ पर, लेट्स से इफ आई गिव इट 2. So too many indices of our array. Array is one dimension, but okay. Oh, it should be 1. That's why. Okay. Now let's see this out. See, we painting here the 2, 5, and 8. See, 2, 5, and 8. So you can see we getting all the row index. We getting all the row index. Row यहाँ पर जाता है. All the row ले लिया. लेकिन column पे हम just we taking the 2, 5, 8. I mean 0, 1. Just 0 और 1 के लिए, इसलिए 2, 5 और 8 आ, राइट? सो लेट्स से आई एम ट्राइंग टू प्रिंटिंग द 3, 6, 9. सो यहाँ पर क्या देना पड़ेगा, 2 दे दो भाई, अच्छा से हो जाएगा. देखो यहाँ पर होता है क्या, इसको बोलते हैं यहाँ पर शायद एरे, इसके बाद ब्रैकेट होगा, इसके बाद आपको देना पड़ेगा रो, इसके बाद आपको देना पड़ेगा कॉलम. जस्ट लाइक दिस यू नीड टू डू द स्लाइसिंग, यू नीड टू डू दिस काइंड ऑफ वे. इसको मैं कमेंट आउट करता हूँ यहाँ पर जाके. Okay, हो गया slicing. Now let's say I am trying to printing the element from 1 to 2. I mean इसको print कर सकते हैं 2 to 3 and 5, 6. So how can I do that? So row यहाँ पर 0 और 1 है, column है 2 से 1 से 3 तक, right? So इसको हम copy करेंगे और let's copy this out. एंड यहाँ पर और भी एक लेते हैं, इसको यहाँ पर देते हैं 1. रो तो है, रो ओके, रो आर फाइन, डोंट वरी ऑन दैट. लेकिन कॉलम पे चेंज करना पड़ेगा, यहाँ पर होगा 1 से 2 तक. नाउ यू कैन सी यू गेट द 2 and 5. सो यहाँ पर देना पड़ेगा 2, देन वी कैन गेट 2, 5, 8. सो 2, 5, 8 वी गेटिंग हियर द ऑल द वैल्यू. सो लेट्स से आई एम ट्राइंग टू प्रिंटिंग इट फ्रॉम row, I mean 2 row. So that's mean I need to give it the 2 row. And I have to go from the column number 1. So column number 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then you can see 2, 3, 5, 6 that you can get, right? So this is how you actually do some analysis on here, that how can you do the indexing and slicing. This is the really very important one. That's why it's taking so much time here. Now let's say do some exploratory data analysis, that how it is actually really work, that you are going to reshaping your data. So let's say I'm trying to reshaping my array. So let's say how can I do that? So I can simply use here the reshape property to do that. So let's say this is nothing but let's taking one ND array, first one dimensional array. So to do that, what I can do, you can simply check that, let's say array 3 equal to np dot arrange. You can also press the tab keyboard, arrange. Let's say I'm going to taking the value from 1 to 100, and I'm going to try to reshaping it. Let's say I'm going to reshaping it. So reshape in the, let's say I have the 20 row and the 5 columns. So you can see, okay, it's having the 2 to 5, but having the value of the 99. So one say okay 100 तक 99. So यहाँ पर जाते हैं. So you can see here all the value it having the 20 row and the 5 columns. This is how you actually reshaping your data in the NumPy array. This is really very simple. You can also do the dot product. You can so do the multiplications also. So let's say I'm trying to generate another one. Let's say I'm trying to generate another one. I'm just going to copy this out, this array 1, and I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to make it 4, and also going to reshape it, right? Let's say I'm going to reshape it. Where is it? Why? यहाँ पर आ जाना, reshape यहाँ पर जाके यहाँ पर कॉपी करना, इसको भी reshape कर देते हैं, इसको बांधे 3, इसको हो जाएगा 4, हो गया reshaping. अब इसको क्या करते हैं, इसका dot करते हैं, right? So let's try to do the dot. So let's say I'm going to multiply with array 3 and into array number 4. So this is how you can also do the dot product. That how can you do this dot, right? You can also creating some arrays with having the field with ones. So for that you can using here the np dot ones. Let's say using here np dot ones. Then simply you can give here in the tuple format. इसका आप यहाँ पर आपको tuple में देना पड़ेगा. Let's say 5,3 दे दो भाई साहब. देखो all the value are generated with having the 5 row and the 3 columns, and all the value is filled with 1. So ये आपको काम पे लगेगा how you are creating the kernel in CNN and also in the ANN, how you do the pre-processing on that or convolution operation, or how you actually initializing the weight for that. You can simply using this method to creating the weight with having all the values with the 1. So let's say I having the all the value with the zeros. How you do the image processing, आपको काला और पीला type की image create करना पड़ा तो. So you can also do this property to creating the all the value having the 1 and all the value having the zeros. So what you can do, you can simply pass it inside use the array. Let's say 5,4. So you can see 5 row and the 4 column is created with having the all the value the zeros. So this is how you can actually creating the np dot zeros and also the np dot ones. And you can also do some random value. Let's say I'm trying to generate some random value. You can see how you give here the which one arrange it actually generate the value from 0 to 99. But when you're trying to generate some random value, it by default automatically generate when you're running the shell again and again. So what I can do, you can simply using here the np dot random. So वहाँ पर एक random function होता है, तो वहाँ पर आप इसको डाल सकते हो. तो वहाँ पर क्या होगा, आपको कुछ random number मिल जाएगा. So let's say I'm going to be using here random dot random. Let's call random. So यहाँ पर हम करते हैं क्या, let's say I'm going to calculate from value from generate from 0 to 50. So यहाँ पर देखो जब हम इसको देखो 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 all time it will generate the new values. All time it will generate the new values. Now you can see it's just having the one value. Let's say I'm trying to making it, let's say giving here 4. So you can see here it having the 4 value. If I am trying to make it, let's say 100, it will see it will generate some 100 random value. So this is how you can also do the randomized value, how you're actually initializing the weight in the deep learning method. You can also using this technique to generate the random weight also. Because you know how you actually generating the weight, आप जब डीप लर्निंग में वेट इनिशियलाइज करते हो ना, इसको रैंडम में करना पड़ता है आपको. Then the forward and the backward progression actually happening, then uh, you can actually minimize the error and do some updations on your weights. So this is how you can actually using this NumPy in also the convolution neural network or creating the ANN like that. And now let's say I'm trying to reshape it. Let's say इसको reshape करना पड़ा. So reshape करना पड़ा. तो यहाँ पर तो 100 वैल्यू है ना, तो 20 और 5 में हो सकते हैं, हो जाएगा, हो गया. Let's say I'm trying to convert the value from 10 to 15 and let's say I have 4. So इसको reshape कर दो, किस में let's say 2 में क्योंकि यहाँ पर 4 वैल्यू होगा, हो गया reshape भाई, 2D array में convert हो गया, 2D array में convert हो गया. So let's say I'm trying to generate some value with having the range between 2 to 3. Let's say how can I do that? All the value are having the inside this random functions. Let's say random dot rand and random, and let's say 2 to 3. I'm trying to actually initializing all the value. So let's say np dot random dot random, and you can see all the value is having inside the 2 to 3. Let's say when you're trying to normalize your data, आप जब normalize करते हो ना Python machine learning पे, जब आपको लेवल एनकोड करना पड़ता है, तो क्या करना होता है, all the values are getting inside the 0 to 1. So this is how you can actually also do that. You can also do that. Let's say मुझे चाहिए -1 to 1, तो -1 तो नहीं आएगा शायद. I have let's say 1 से 2 तक दिखता है, right? देखो all the value is having value between the 1 to 2. So this is how you can also do that. Let's say I'm going to give here 5 to 6. So 5 to 6 का अंदर भी आपको वैल्यू आ जाएगा, बहुत बहुत सारे वैल्यू यहाँ पर आ जाएगा, right? You can also generate this kind of value. Let's say I'm taking another example. So let's say this one, I'm just going to taking this from here 1 to 7. This is the first array. So let's say array, and I'm trying to calculate the arg max. So from the value, so you can see here arg max is nothing but 6. 6 means it's nothing but giving the index number. So let's say I'm trying to printing it here, and if I'm trying to checking the maximum value inside my array, so how can I do that? That's array arg max. So this is how you can do that. So 6 means it's nothing but the index number 6. In index number 6 is having the maximum value. Let's say I make it 34 now. Okay, इसको update करते हैं, right? Update करते हैं. So let's say update it. Let's say update it. The 2 number index value is nothing but called 34, 32. So you can see index number is right now 2. That's mean it will update the value. 2 is converted into 3 is converted into 32. That's mean the RRG max actually give you the index number. When you do, let's say you are trying to getting the ARG max value from the prediction value. When you do the image classification, you need to also using this ARG max, right? You need to also using the ARG max, right? But in these cases, you don't have the single number of array. Maybe you have the multi-dimensional array. Now the question is, how can actually using this ARG max in the two-dimensional array also? Let's say I have my array that's called the array 1. This is the array 1. So let's say array 1. So this is my array. Now I'm trying to getting the value arg max from the all the indexes. So I need to keep here the axis equal to 0. So I need to give the axis equal to 0. Then I got here the value is a 2, right? See, this is nothing but 1. See, you can see I got the value that 2. 2 is nothing but my, in the axis number 1, this is my maximum value. Let's say I'm going to give here the 1. So in the axis number 1, it's also having the index number of the 2 value. I mean, it having the 3 indexes, right? In the 3 indexes. You can also do the summation on that. See, in the axis number 1, you can see how you actually do the adding 1, 2, 3, you can get the value of the 6. And how you actually add this, you can get here the 15. And how you add them, and you get here the 24. Now let's say I'm going to add all the column, then I can give here, I can get here 1, 4, 7 is nothing but the 12, then 50 and 80. So this is how you can also do the summation on that. And you can also do the arg mean also. Let's say arg mean of the 1D array. You can see arg mean index is nothing but 0. That's mean in this array, the index number 1, index number 0 is nothing but the minimum one. So this is how actually NumPy actually work in Python. I just actually discuss about all the things, simple step here. You can also go on the documentation of the NumPy and do some analysis on that, how the NumPy method. There are so many methods actually available. You can also do some analysis on that, right? So that's it for today. Now hope you enjoy this tutorial, and make sure to subscribe to channels, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. And I'll be back in the tutorial. So till then, take care and bye bye.